Alright, let's start. So we have our deck. These are dragons. And I set it up so that we have exactly 24 lands and no modal double face cards. So just 24 lands here, as you can see on this side. Right. And now what we're just going to do is to play some games, concede, or take note of the number of lands we have on our opening hand, and then concede. Oh, I have not been doing my dailies. I have not been doing my dailies. So we'll do standard ranked and then EZ dragons. Alright, so this is our first game. So we have three lands in the opening hand. Okay, let me take note of that. Three lands in the opening hand. Alright, this pathway is fine because both sides are lands, so it's fine. Let's save on time and let's not even look at what our opponent's going to be. I don't mind losing. I mean, the latter matches aren't really relevant since we can bottom out at Diamond 4. So this is game number 2. We have 3 lands in the opening hand. Right? 3 lands, opening hand. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is those don't. It should be best of 3. Why did I? Yeah, my mistake. So those 2 games, they don't count. It should be best of 3. Yeah, because we don't want the hand selector. We just want... Yeah, my bad. So it should be traditional standard ranked. Oops, let me delete. I'm deleting those first 2 data entries. Enjoy your loss. I actually want to beat this one, but... Okay, so we have 2 lands in the opening hand. Hello! So no sideboarding needed. We're just saving on time. We'll play first again. We have 2 lands in the opening hand. Alright. Alright, just... So. Alright. So like I said, part of the reason why I'm doing this now is because there's really not much to do since we're in the off season. I qualified for the August qualifier already. I don't know what the format of the next CFB showdown is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lands in the opening hand. Hello, Melasos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not really very motivated to play on Arena. I still have to get to Mythic, I guess. I'm still going to do that towards the end of the season, maybe. 3 lands in the opening hand. I mean, it's a simple enough thing to do. So, but right now, what I'm most excited about in terms of competitive Magic, and Melasos would know this because I keep talking about it in team chat, is Pauper. Is Pauper. I've been playing a lot of Pauper. I'm just recording it by hand. You don't need any sophisticated tools because we're only after 100 data points. It takes what, a few seconds to actually get into the game, to a game, count the number of lands, and take a record. So I have a sheet of paper with me and a pen. That's all you need. That's all you need. I mean, it depends, right? If the tool requires something more sophisticated, then use something more sophisticated. So 3 lands in the opening hand. But here it's much simpler to do it by hand. So I've been playing Pauper a lot. I actually streamed Pauper yesterday, so you can see that. And I might be streaming some more Pauper in the coming days. And when I say Pauper, I don't mean Magic Arena Pauper. Certainly not. I mean Magic Pauper. Like having access to all the commons throughout Magic's history is just amazing. It's an amazing format. You get to play with all these powerful cards, which will probably destroy any deck in Standard. And we're just talking about the commons from Magic's history. No uncommons, no rares, no mythic rares. Maybe let's draw first. Doesn't matter. Oh, we have a 1-lander. Alright. 1 land. Wow. So if I was playing these matches, this would be the first time that I'm going to mulligan out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 7 games, this would be the first time I was going to mulligan. So all the hands we've had are keepable. Or maybe I would have mulliganed the 5-lander. Not really. I know there was a Bone Crusher there, so no. Oh, come on, opponent. I'm just going to give you 2 free wins here. Please don't take some time sideboarding. Okay, so then there would be 2 hands that were mulligan worthy. Did you see if there was a Bone Crusher? If there was, I would have kept that. I mean, this deck is land hungry. It doesn't mind 5 lands. So 2 lands here. By the way, in the how do I vote on whether or not to share? You can vote right here in the chat. Just follow the uh, follow my this one, follow my profile, and then vote here, and I'll take note of that and your name. There are actually two ways that you can vote, and each vote will count here and on the Aether Hub profile. So you can follow me here and then vote here, and that's one vote. And you can go to the Aether Hub profile, follow me there, and vote there in the article for this event. That's another vote. And either of those votes could win, or both of those votes could win. Did I take note of this already? Yes, right? Two lands. Right. The first one was a mulligan. I mean, the first one was a one-lander. So it's explained in detail in the link that is at the very top of chat, how to join the creator program. Unfortunately, there's no way to join it right now that I'm aware of, because it used to be that you can join the creator program by signing up, applying for it through what was that? Let me check. I forgot but I have it here. Let me forgot the name of the website, because Wizards partnered with Stream Elements. There you go. So it used to be that Wizards partnered with Stream Elements, and then you sign up for Stream Elements, which is free, and then there, if you're playing Magic Arena, you will get an opportunity to apply for a creator. So that was the process, and then they processed it. It took a few months, at least for me. It took a few months for me to get approved. And then once you're approved, they give you quests, and if you do the quests, you get rewards like gem codes and such for you to use or to give away. I give all of mine away since I don't really need it. If you could see the resources that I've already accumulated in this game, I have close to 1,000,000 gold. I will be celebrating 1 millionth gold at some point, and then about 60,000 gems. So I don't need in-game resources. They're useless to me at this point. Okay. Hello, Good Shepherd. Thank you for your vote. Yeah, so that was before. Now, because of a series of events that I don't really completely understand, they've sunset the creator program. Well, not that I don't completely understand. I do understand it somewhat. And it's probably a very nice discussion. I've had that discussion already with other people on why the creator program was sunset. But it was sunset. So they ended the program. They ended the program with Stream Elements, but they supposedly kept their creators. So all the creators are still creators. That's my understanding of it. We're all in this Discord together as creators, but we have not heard anything on what's going to happen. I mean, we haven't heard. We've read stuff on what's going to happen, but nothing has happened yet. Right? So nothing has happened yet. So these gems that I'm giving out, these are the last of my gems to give out. So after this, I don't know if they're going to give us the opportunity to get more. I still have quite a few, so fun times ahead, because you can expect after this that I will be doing more of these. I only want to do events that are fun for me. I only want to do giveaways that are interesting for me. Like I'm not doing these giveaways to get the maximum number of followers that I can milk from those gems and stuff like that. Of course, that helps. But my main point in doing these events is to prove some points about the game. Do you have sponsorships or partnerships elsewhere? Either, yeah, yeah. I'm a content creator for Mana Traders. Although Mana Traders lives entirely in Magic Online and paper, so not in Arena. But I am a sponsored creator for Mana Traders, and I am also part of the Aether Hub content creator team. So we have another 5-lander. So what do you think? If you had this hand, would you mulligan for this deck against unknown opponent? I would keep this. Bone Crusher Giant is just sweet. Plus we have a Faceless Haven. So I would keep this hand. What do you think, Melasos? You said you will mulligan the other hand from before. Would you mulligan this one? Anyone can answer, by the way. Do you think that that hand should be mulligan? Are you not satisfied with Bone Crusher Giant? So you will keep this one? Right? Bone Crusher Giant. Good card. Right. This one I might mulligan. I think this is a mulligan. I mean, I really don't like having these two islands there. I guess the Maze Mine Tome helps, and the fact that I am going on the play means that I will be able to play the Maze Mine Tome. But the Scry one, while useful, is too big of a risk. So this one I probably would mulligan. I mean, there is negate, but nah, I think versus on game 1 versus an unknown opponent, I would mulligan this hand. Yeah, I know. You have Tome, but see, that means that on turn 2, you're going to cast Tome. And on turn 3, you have to pray that the Scry is enough for you to get a land. So it's a bit iffy, and I think I can do better. The deck can do, not me, but the deck. The deck can do better. Can do better than that hand. It's not really like, suppose that I do get my land, right? Yeah, you're pretty much all in on that tome. You're saying that tome has to get me a land, and if it doesn't, then I might as well just have conceded the game, which I did. Yeah, I think the thing that a lot of people need to understand is that mulling to 6 is not so bad. Like you can do away with that one card and hope for a better hand, and in many cases that's fine. In more than a few cases, and that's a lesson that I need to learn myself because I do mulligan quite conservatively, and that's been my downfall. That's been my downfall on many a match. That was my downfall in the boss match of the CFB showdown last month. I won the showdown, but then I got to face off versus Huey Jensen in the boss match for a chance to double everybody's prizes, and I let everybody down because I kept a bad hand. It had 2 lands. It had 2 lands. I kept it. It had interaction. Ooh, a 1-lander. This is our second 1-lander out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No landers yet. So yeah, I kept a bad hand, and yeah, Huey just smashed me to bits. Yeah, so knowing how to mulligan is such an important skill. That's why if there's a good combo deck available in the meta, I typically gravitate towards that because I feel that that will help me in making mulligans. So this is interesting. This hand against an unknown opponent, I would probably keep because now you do have some interaction and you do have Maze Mind Tomes, two of them. And these you can even foretell. Although that's if these were something else, I would gladly have taken something else over these two. But versus Yorion, it's interesting because versus Yorion, if you were up against Ultimatum, uh, these two are supposed to help, right? So maybe it is still a keep because maybe you can draw enough cards to draw into a counter spell before they can ultimatum, or you can scare them into thinking that this foretold Alran's Epiphany is actually a counter spell. So if I was in an actual match, I would keep this hand, but I might be wrong. I don't hate any archetypes, and I played Ultimatum in that showdown that I won. Play the best deck. That's the rule of the game. Well, that's not the rule of the game. That's the rule if you want to win. Play the best deck. Play it the best way possible. Play it better than other people, and then you win. Or not really, and then you have the best chances of winning. And mind you, each of those steps are not easy. Finding the first step, identifying the best deck, that's not easy. That's not easy. Sometimes it's easy. Yorion Luca, that's an easy best deck. What else? Sahili, Felidar Sahili is easy. That was easy. Mono red, Ramunap red. Ramunap red was not an obvious choice, which would show in the statistics because more people at the time were playing when Ramunap Ruins got banned, right? Okay, another one lander. When Ramunap Ruins got banned, right? It's a one lander. Right. When Ramunap Ruins got banned, Wizards showed the data, and it showed that more people were actually playing energy or variants of energy, right? So more people were thinking that energy was the best deck, but actually Ramunap Red had the best win rate. Oh, there's a historic challenge. Maybe I should join this at some point. Let's just look at it. What are the... Ew. I hate the packs though. And the prices are bad. If these were historic packs, like they put in cards from all across historic, and you can get stuff from jump stuff from the mystical archives. If you can do that, then I'll be interested. But these are just random packs that I don't need, or don't. I mean, even if I get some of them, they won't really help my collection because there'll still be too few. What is the power level of historic challenge? I would think that if you had to pay 2,000 gems or 10,000 gold, you will definitely use a deck that you think has the best chance of winning. So I would not expect anything non-tier. I would not expect you to meet anything non-tier here. And if someone does bring something like, I don't know, Merfolk, I don't know, something clunky, then they're just throwing away gold, which is good for everyone else, but not good for them. Yeah, so like I said, so that first step, identifying the best deck, that's not easy. That's not an easy task. The second one is even, I guess, easier than the first one. Playing the deck better than other people. That is somewhat easier. Especially if you already are an experienced player and you know your way around cards. So it doesn't take much for you to master, not really master, but to play it more better than average. To play it better than the average person would play it. That is not difficult. Not as difficult as the first part. Alright. And I guess there's a third thing that you can do is once you know how to play the deck well, better than others, and you know that it's the best deck, then you can think about how can you modify it so that it can beat the mirror better while still being able to beat the rest. So that part is something to think about as well. And and it's very important for you to not fall into a trap there. The trap, which I've fallen into several times, I've just fallen into that a few days ago with Popper Shatterstorm. Oh yeah, I'm happy. All right. The trap is thinking that you can make the deck better. And sometimes it's natural. Sometimes we as human beings think that we're all that, right? We think we're so good. We think we're so right. I mean, I've won several tournaments. I must be good at Magic. So I should be able to improve this deck, right? That's the thinking. And I was wrong. I was wrong, and I was punished for it. So, but that's important. So I'm not always wrong though. Uh, Back in Yorion Luca, I think I was able to make some modifications that made the deck better, particularly in the mirror match, which did show when I won the Arena Open, the first Arena Open, $2,000. When I won that, I won it with a Luca deck, which on day 2 went against 5 other Luca decks. I beat each one of them. Some because of the pet cards that I inserted into the deck, which allowed me to still win even if they were able to resolve their Fires of Invention first. In fact, I wanted them to resolve their Fires of Invention and to cast their Agent of Treachery, and to get their Agent of Treachery first. Then on my turn, I just get their entire board. It was all about making sure that at some point your opponent only has 3 lands. And at that point, you can just pin him down and he won't ever be able to recover anymore. Yes, Luca from Agent of Treachery times. That was the deck that I used to win the Arena Open. Sure, you can post a list here. We can look at it while I'm losing. While I'm conceding these games. Okay, I'll look into it. Yeah, I have another computer open. Oops, where did it go? Yep, I see. It's loading on my other computer. 2 lands. It's wow, it's still loading. It's loading because Aether Hub's display is to show it to show the card art. I guess that takes some more time on my other computer. Which is still strange. But yeah, it hasn't loaded yet. I do see that it has 17 lands though. And that itself is a red flag. Unless do you have like modal double face cards that are lands in the deck? Ah, you do not. Ah, but it's a red deck. Okay. Is this for best of one or best of three? 3 lands. So I'm assuming this is for best of one, right? Oh no, you have sideboard. You have a sideboard. I mean, I think it's fine. I don't know how much you want to have to be at 17 lands here. Because you do want to get to 4 lands. The list itself is pretty stock. It's pretty stock for a mono red deck. Maybe there are better cards. I mean, I don't know if Fanatical Firebrand is the best other one drop because there are so many more one drops now. You have the one with Prowess. That's a good one drop as well. But Fanatical Firebrand has haste, so that's something it has going for it. G2 Lavamancer is definitely an in here, so that's good. Like if you're going the Steamkin route, then I would think that you'd want 4 Experimental Frenzies, and maybe you don't want the Torbrands. I don't know. I mean, that's just my impression of the deck. I mean, that's just my first impression looking at the list. I don't think you want all 4 Torbrands and all 3 Experimental Frenzies and have 17 lands. In fact, I would even go on to say that Bone Crusher Giant may not be good here. In Bone Crusher Giant is excellent in Standard, but that's because Standard is a step lower or a couple of steps slower than Historic. So what I like about the deck is that it's possible for you to win over life gain. And we know that Historic Best of One can have a ton of life gain. We have a lot of Angels, Mono White Angels, Coco Angels. And you can win through that with Experimental Frenzy. You can win through that with Experimental Frenzy. Yeah. You want to kill the Steamkins. But like I said, in the mono white matchup, they really don't have any way to interact with your creatures until turn 3. And maybe not even then. Maybe they don't have interaction at all. And are just planning to overwhelm you with very large angels. This is a one-lander. So in that particular matchup, Steamkin, when your opponent doesn't have interaction, Steamkins can handily win you the game. But yeah, I definitely disagree with having 7 4-drops in a deck with 17 lands. Even if it's just best of one. Wow, that's back-to-back one-landers. Right? Yes. See, so if you were playing, right? So that's an interesting because we only get to play a few games a day. Especially when you're doing best of 3, maybe a best of 3 match will take you about 30 minutes to do, right? So suppose you're that player, and then suppose you got these hands, right? So we've done about 20 hands already. But as a player, you can start, and since it's random, you can start anywhere. Like you could have any of these hands as your first experience. Imagine having your first experience as the one-lander followed by another one-lander. Right? Imagine if you were that player and that's where you start off the day. You get a one-lander and then another one-lander. So that's going to make you angry. Or some people angry. And then they're going to connect that with the game being out to get them. And that's where this all starts. Right? All the conspiracy theories. Well, that's why we're here. 3 lands. Back in the day, I think the only 4 drops I ran were Hazards. Yes. No, actually, during the time of Ramonap Red, Hazarets, right, was in the Ramonap Red. This is during the first Amonkhet. The Ramonap Red deck actually had 23 lands because of the Ramonap Ruins. And it played several Glory Bringers. In fact, the mirrors were won by who could resolve more Glory Bringers. That was awesome. Good times. Good times. Yeah, Ramonap Red was just insanely good. It's like, wow, let's give Red inevitability. Let's see what happens if we give Red inevitability in the form of these lands that they can chuck into their opponents. Thank you, thank you. I'll also be going in about 10 or so minutes. I'll continue this tomorrow, and we'll keep on doing this until we get to 100 data points. And then we'll do the statistical test that I talk about in the article, and then we'll do the raffle. Yeah, so Ramonap Red is like, let's give Red a way to close out the game with their lands and see what happens. Alright, 3 lands. Right? So it's like saying let's find a way so that even if Red floods out, they win. Do you see how bad the reasoning is for that for Ramonap Red? Let's give a way for Red to win, even if they flood out. And this was before Steamkin, right? This was before Steamkin. Right, 3 lands. Oh, I didn't catch the questions in the chat. What to use instead of Bone Crusher? There are probably a lot of options. More one drops if you're going to stick with with 17 lands, or don't want to increase that to like say 20. Lavamancer, Grim Lavamancer, I guess is a nice one drop. Uh, okay, this is our first 6 lander. This is our first 6 lander out of, I don't know, 20 runs, I think. Right. First 6 lander. Which makes sense since we have 24 lands in a 60 card deck. Then it will be we'll see 1 landers much more often than we'll see 6 landers. All right, 3 lands. No zeros yet, no sevens yet. A lot of ones though. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1-landers. Four lands. Three lands. There is, by the way, an updated list for this deck for Zet Dragons that's now available in Channel Fireball. And in that list, very interestingly, they reduced the number of expressive iterations to 1 while increasing the number of Maze Mind Tomes to 4. And this is after the Strixhaven Championship. So these are adjustments that they made after Strixhaven Championship. I haven't read the article in detail, but I might need to since the format for this month's event may be standard. So I need to bone up on standard. But like I said, right now my focus is Pauper. And particularly Pauper Chatterstorm. Amazing, amazing deck. Really love it. At first I felt like I fell into a trap and it wasn't very good. But I figured out that was because I wasn't playing very well. And I was trying out, like I said, I was trying out all these sorts of modifications before even making sure that I could play the deck well. Which, like I said, is a trap that you should avoid. And like I still fell for that. Yeah, yes. I mean that's sort of the same thing for Tome, right? But the thing is, Tome helps Galazeth Prismari, and they said, well, two things. It helps Galazeth Prismari, and it's very good in the mirror. It's better in the mirror than Expressive Iteration because you get more cards from it. That was the part that I did read. Another one lander. This is our sixth. Right, I can probably I'll do about until 8. So about maybe 3 more of these. I won't do the tally until later. So I'm going to enter this into an Excel file to make tallying easier so that I won't tally it myself. Have the computer do that. 5 lands. I would keep this. I mean, turn 2 stomp into turn 3 giant into later on an expressive iteration is pretty good deal, I think. We've made a lot of players happy today with all these concessions. I hope. Right, 2 lands. This is actually an iffy keep. I would probably mulligan this. Because if you don't draw your 3rd land and your 4th land on time, you're just dead. So this one is a mulligan. So I'm not that greedy. No, it's fine. If you need to go up the ladder, I mean, if I needed to go up the ladder and I knew someone was doing this, I'd be playing. And the objective is just to climb up. Doesn't matter where you get your wins as long as the wins are fair. As long as you're not breaking any rules. Two. This is an interesting hand. I think this is still a mulligan. I mean, again, there's the Maze Mind Tome, right? But perhaps against a known opponent, I'll keep this. If I know that I'm up against Sultai Ultimatum, for example, I'll keep this because I can probably find a blue source before they can cast an ultimatum. Right? So barring like they cast Polukranos on turn 3 instead and just kill me, I think this is a keep. But against a blind opponent, I'll probably mulligan. The best MTG streamer to stream snipe. Three. I think this is the last one. We are at 8 o'clock, and I do need to do other stuff as well. All right, so we did quite a few. I think we did more than 30 runs. So we're a third of the way. We're a third of the way to 100. About a third of the way to 100. So probably just need to do a couple more, maybe 2 to 3 more days of this, and we'll be done. And we can do the raffle. All right. So yeah, thank you for the votes. I'll be taking note of them from chat and keeping a record. And if you want more chances of winning, you can also vote on either hub. And like I mentioned there, the prizes will be 1,000 gem codes depending on the number of entries we have. And you can win multiple times. So you can win most 2 times since you have 2 entries. All right. Everyone have a great week. Take care. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time.